How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Investing with Zeke. So, there's been a lot of fear in the market this week. A lot of people going on the sidelines, a lot of people going as far as even shorting stocks. People saying that there might even increase rates, not only not, cut rates, but increase rates. And I mean, I've been listening to the Fed talk every time he speaks, every word he says. Jay Powell, and I mean, and other Fed members. I've been paying a lot of attention to him, and it's just not what I've been hearing. But there seems to be a lot of fear, and you do look around and you see groceries and everything still expensive, and it's just starting to scare a lot of people in the market. So I went ahead and wanted to check out the experts, over at Charles Schwab. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to check out, it's just a couple of minute segment about if they believe the Fed will either hike rates or start cutting rates. And I want to kind of hear their take. First time kind of hearing it. So I wanted to hear it with you guys and kind of give you my opinion. I've been looking at I've been looking at the market as well, and I'll let you know at the end of the video, at the end of this, if I cashed up a little bit to kind of prepare for what's to come, if I'm a little bit nervous about what's out there, or if I believe everything's going to be fine and I'm just going to continue to buy. So let's get off into what the experts have to say, and I'll go ahead and give my opinion afterwards here.
Advised down a little bit to two cuts or less.
So at this point, I tweeted something earlier today like there should be outrage if dots move down in the next reading. I'm not saying they necessarily have to move up, but like they shouldn't go down, should they, Colin? But I mean, like, how could they justify that?
Yeah, down meaning a lower rate
lower
at
rate
the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That
Literally
yeah.
down.
Oh, I mean, I'd say there's no way we do that. So there's no way the rate goes down. If anything, the number of cuts goes down.
Right.
But I think it's gonna be a difficult decision. If you look at what the Fed's projections were in December, not just the dot, but their economic projections, we're pretty close, or it looks like we're still kind of on pace for that. Unemployment rate of 4.1% was their projection. We're at 3.9. Oh, that's been choppy. And 2.6% was the Fed's core PCE projection. We were at 2.8%. Now, if we were to stall at 2.8% over the next number of months, that'd be cause for concern. But it seems like the trend does seem lower, and it'll be really interesting to see how much just January and February, if and how much that spooks officials into pushing back and upping their expectations for where they see the Fed funds rate at the end of this year.
Okay. The thing so far for stocks has been that they don't really care, Joe, about rate cuts, evidently, or rates generally, except for maybe that Russell. Maybe that's why that big breakout got stopped out. So it's like group and sector and size, maybe some, but do we have any reason to believe lowering the odds of further cuts would kill the bull market?
You know, I'll be watching the summary of economic projections, the dot plot next week, fairly close, and I think investors will too, because I think that maybe the dialogue that comes out and the dots, if they do show that maybe there's a move towards two cuts as opposed to three, maybe that's the consensus. I do think that could weigh on stocks a bit. I mean, Oliver, I think what we have to think about is this is one of the most elongated cycles that we've seen in a long time. I mean, the distance between the last hike, versus to where this first cut, could potentially be. I mean, we're on the doorstep, on the precipice of one of the longest cycles ever between those two time periods. So, I mean, look, within all of that time, you haven't had the S&P decline by more than 2%. In a long time, we've got an inverted yield curve that's coming on the precipice of longest ever. So there's a lot of things for stocks to digest. I think what they've been digesting recently is a pretty favorable earnings cycle. And that's going to kick off in the next couple of weeks as well, too. So there's a lot for markets to be able to kind of really reprice off of in the next few weeks. But a lot of it kicks off next week with the dot plot.
All right.
Well, I believe what he's saying is don't run out and sell all your stocks. That'd be pretty stupid. So, I mean, he's also saying they're also saying that they're not gonna hike rates. If anything, they're going to cut rates, and they're going to do it around the election. Pretty much the thing I've been saying the whole time. This is just a kind of a temporary pullback, in my opinion. So, however, I did cash up a little bit because we could be going into some rough waters. When you start seeing, Bitcoin still sitting at $66,000 a coin, that makes me think that, nobody's panicking. I mean, if you're holding Bitcoin, the economy seems to be pretty strong. Now, however, I did sell some Meta. I sold it around $500. That was a big target for me anyway. Back when I first bought it, I was like, if this hits $1 trillion market cap, I should take something off the table. I really believe in this company, but if you look at Bitcoin and then you look at Meta, you see on the chart you're about topping off. And just in my opinion, I don't really see a bigger run here. So I wanted to prepare myself for smaller cap companies, which I've been buying all the last couple of weeks actually. So I'll make a video on those. But what's a little crazy? You look around and everything is more expensive. When you're talking about groceries, when you're talking about houses or housing, rents. But have you guys looked around and all the people kind of have money? Like, it doesn't seem like it's slowing anybody down. Like, it's like they find a magical bag of money and they're able to pay for everything. That's how these companies are able to keep their earnings up, and that's how people are still, buying the new Apple Visions and the Metas and the Teslas and all that. That's why, it's so hard. It's kind of crazy to believe, even though everything is so expensive, everybody seems to have money. And I'm not seeing panic really in just regular people. They say it sucks, but you know what? They're making it work. And with that in mind, I mean, it's hard to really cash up too much. I just want to buy some smaller cap stocks because I think the market still has some legs in certain areas to run, but there's certain companies with the interest rates the way they are. I mean, energy, solar, EV, cars, all of that is going to be hit. Anything that depreciates really quick and has pretty high interest rates, you're putting banks in a tough spot. I mean, even Charles Schwab believes by September there's gonna be at least a 94% chance of a cut. We'll find out on Wednesday if they're gonna. Man, if Wednesday they came out and they were like, you know what, we're gonna cut. We're gonna cut tomorrow. That would be great. Start preparing for the whole rally into the election. It's just what happens after election is a little bit what I'm unsure of. That's why you got to always be cautious and be prepared. I've learned that lesson, and that's why I cashed up a bit. So I'll get off into my next video on what I spent my cash on, because I'm still in the market. It's not like I'm going to jump out, and I'm not going to short companies. I kind of know how to do it, but really I don't see the point in that. I think I leave that to the big money. They can do all that short and stuff. If it's a stock that I don't want to buy, I just won't buy it. I don't get the whole shorting thing. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you, an update on, calm down. I mean, Bitcoin's still at $66,000. When Bitcoin dropped, when you wake up in the morning and Bitcoin's like $27,000, that's when you should start panicking. Like hardcore. Then you're gonna want to check your real investments and see exactly what happened there. But with Bitcoin being at 66,000, I'm not too worried. So I'm gonna continue to buy. I'm gonna be buying into next week and all the way through the whole FOMC meeting and through all this BS it's not scaring me. There's still big money buying everything up right now. So I'm going to continue to do the same. Anyway, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.